I know, we're all asking and wondering the same things right now. How can one man have this so much sex appeal? How can one man have this so much sexiness in him? How can one man shine this brightly? You know, I'm like a shiny Pokemon of how rare of a specimen I am. I know, I know. And I wonder why. What's causing this sex appeal to be more compared to my previous appearances in my videos? I'm actually just kidding. Oh my god, that was so out of pocket. Let me just actually remove this. I look so silly. And if you're wondering why I was wearing sunglasses, I haven't slept yet, and I was too embarrassed to show how big my eye bags are. Just look at these things. Anyway, kidding aside, I'm back again with another yap session, and I wanted to talk about something, more serious compared to my introduction. And I know that was not how I usually start my videos, but right, just a change of pace. And the thing that I wanted to talk about right now is boredom. What's causing our boredom? What's something that contributes to our boredom? And how can we deal with it? How can we fight and combat it and overcome it in general? And it's not something that's what it seems on a surface level. It goes deeper than that. When you feel like you're bored, what's causing that? And if you just think about it like on a surface level, it seems like it's just shallow, right? It's something that you might think that's just a simple thing, that it's normal to get bored sometimes. While I agree to some point, to some degree, I also have a different take when it comes to that, on a different side of it. And it's some more so of what are the things that we're supposed to be doing right now at this moment instead of being bored. Have you ever asked yourself why are you bored? What's causing your boredom? Aren't you supposed to be doing something right now? Aren't you supposed to be doing something that's very important? That's one of your responsibilities. Aren't you supposed to be studying right now? Aren't you supposed to be working right now? Aren't you supposed to be, I don't know, pursuing something right now? And while I agree that it is normal to get bored sometimes, but actually, when you think about it, the main and sole reason why we get bored is because we're not doing something, right? When we get to a point wherein we feel like we're not doing something, that's the time wherein we say and think and feel to ourselves that it's boring. I'm bored. But how and in what way can we combat that? It's pretty simple, right? Based on what I've said. Do something. Do something that you like, that you love, that will, overcome that boredom that you have. Hobby, your job. Do what you're supposed to do. Put an extra effort in it. Go the extra mile for it. And I know it's not bad to feel bored sometimes because, it's also one of the ways on how we rest and how we take rest after, a hard day's work. And that's just one of the ways we deal with, tiredness as well. When we feel bored, right? When we do not do anything at all, we feel bored. And if you're like using boredom as a rest, yes, I understand that. It's completely valid. But if you are bored while you're supposed to be doing something that's actually very important, a responsibility, your job, your, your tasks and your errands, why? you're not supposed to be bored when you're supposed to be doing those kind of things, right? And I'm not saying that you're not allowed to be bored, even just for a short amount of time, to be before doing those kind of things, that you're not doing anything right now to take a rest and be bored. An active choice of being bored before doing those tasks, before doing those responsibilities that you have. I understand that. I understand where that's coming from. And one thing that's very, very prevalent right now that I've observed when it comes to people is that when they're bored, they're constantly thinking, or us humans, of course, I'm going to include myself. When we're bored, we're constantly thinking about something that we want to do, that to cure our boredom, right? And majority of the time, we spend that time, that bored time, just thinking about it without actually doing it. And why is that? Why do you think that is? I mean, personally, I believe that the reason why we're like that is because we just don't want to feel bad. We just don't want to feel bad, not doing anything. That's why we're thinking to ourselves that we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I'm going to finish this, I'm going to finish that. While in fact, in reality, while you're unconsciously or indirectly contributing to your awareness that you're not actually going to do that, you're just making yourself believe that you're going to do something in order for you not to feel bad about yourself. And I'm guilty as charged as well, but it's something that I have awareness of, that I'm completely aware of when I do that. And I try to combat it by actually doing it, actually doing the things that I think that I'm gonna do. And I don't know, it's just something that you should think about as well, and ponder a lot about. Because when we say that we're bored, the first thing that comes to our mind, or most likely most of the people, the first thing that comes to their mind would be, it's normal. It's normal to be bored. And it's something that, we take our time being bored because sometimes we're tired. But if you look at it more profoundly, if you look at it in the most metaphysical way possible, I know I sound like a broken record when I say that. I mean, I think I only said that twice, but anyway, if you think about it deeply, if you think about it that way, you'll see what actually causes that boredom, and what it can lead to, and how it can affect your development as a person, how it can affect your betterment as a person. Because if you're constantly being bored, if you're constantly being in the same place of being bored, feeling bored, how do you think your body will respond to that? How do you think it will respond to that feeling? How do you think your mind will develop with being exposed to that feeling, being exposed to that boredom? Right? You'll be stagnant. Right? You'll be stuck in that place if you're constantly in that place while, not doing anything to overcome that. And I know it's tough. I mean, yes, it is we all have different circumstances, but yes, it's tough to, overcome boredom when it comes to you involving your own motivation, involving your priorities, especially if you're someone who has a lot of priorities at hand that you have to do, and you fool yourself and you hypnotize yourself into believing that boredom is a way for you to deal with those, to to rest. Boredom is one way for you to rest. And while I agree to some point, to some degree, but what if you get used to that? Don't you think that it will hinder your own betterment, your own development as a person? And I don't know. It's just something that I thought about earlier and that I wanted to share and hear your thoughts as well. So comment down what you think about it. How do you deal with boredom? And what do you think about boredom in itself? Do you think it's just normal? That it's just as it is on the surface level? Or does it go beyond and deeper than that? I'm actually curious what you think about it. And let me know. And I think that's about it. Yeah. And that's about it. Stay awesome.